Hello everyone, welcome back to Kanga TV, home of North Melbourne fans, and welcome to the home of the round two winners between North Melbourne and the D's. This afternoon, North Melbourne defeating the D's by 59 points, 19-11, 125 to 9-12, 66. And this is going to be a really raw, emotional first reflection on the game. I'll have a proper preview for you tomorrow, but I just couldn't not come on and talk to you guys after what just happened under the roof at Marvel Stadium today. What a performance. I mean, where do you even start? I don't think I could have predicted that in my wildest dreams, to be honest. And I sat there at the end of the first quarter so upset because it was so clear to me after that first quarter that we actually hold the keys to our own destiny. And that was proven in the entirety of the game in the first quarter and then in the three quarters that followed on from that. In that first quarter, we could not kick straight whatsoever, and the D's, they did get a few goals. I think all of their goals came from free kicks in the first quarter, but that doesn't invalidate or devalue the goals. They are still there. The score still stands, and we deserved to be a lot further in front at quarter time. And you just sort of sit there and we're missing goals at one end, and then we're dropping flimsy, easy marks down the other and making silly mistakes in defence. And you're sitting here thinking, if we just tighten up even that 5-10%, we go on and win this game. And that's exactly what we did after quarter time. We completely switched gears after quarter time. We steadied the ship, and it was a pretty gritty second and third quarter, and then completely broke the game open in the last, what the Bulldogs did to us in the first 5 minutes of the final quarter last week. We did to the D's, kicked 5 unanswered goals to start the fourth quarter and completely blew them out of the water. And it was the first time North had won a game that convincingly since round 9, 2020, when we defeated Adelaide. I dreamt of this moment when I started Kanga TV. I obviously started in the trade period, you guys know that. And last week, the build up to last week's game was enormous. And I think I touched on this in my review last week. I think I put a lot of pressure on myself because I was so excited going into this season. I knew things had changed and you could feel things had changed. And to have a game like we had last week and a result, it was just so flat and it was disappointing and it was same old. And I just wanted this week to be different so badly. And it's not to say that we're going to go on and win the next game, every single game for the year and make finals. And, it's not about that. Like, of course it is. And of course I think we're a chance to win every game, especially if we turn up and play the way we played. But I just dreamt of sharing something so special like this with you guys, and for everyone I got to meet before the game and after the game and celebrate with. It was so special. It just meant so much to me and to the club, and we really deserved it. I think the fans really, really deserved it, the way we've stuck by this club and through thick and thin. It was our first home game for the year, and it just set the tone for the year. We were good enough to beat the Dogs last week, and we just couldn't get there. And we were good enough to beat West Coast in the preseason. We just couldn't get there. And I thought for the third week, or the third game, I should say, in a row, I thought bad kicking was going to come back to haunt us again. But after quarter time, it was just sharp shooting. Charlie Comben, I feel like our game and our performance as a team was reflected in Charlie Comben's game today. Halfway through the second quarter, I sat there and thought, he was really flat last week, and I just sat there and thought, this guy's got a half a footy to turn it around, because we've got Griffin Logue coming back from injury. We've got Whitlock and 2 Dawsons waiting in the wings who would more than happily fit into that back line. Charlie's got a lift. And he absolutely lifted. He was marking everything. Halfway through that second quarter, it's like something shifted in him and the team, and the energy just lifted. And he just couldn't put a foot wrong. The Great Wall of Chom is what's been floating around this evening on socials, and I think that's a fitting name for him. I thought Toby Pink and Aiden Cole were both excellent. In defence, I thought Tucker and Luke McDonald fought really bravely as well. And I think the pressure from up the ground really helped and alleviated pressure from the defence. LDU, legacy game. I've never seen that man play. It was like a man possessed. He is a real classy player, and he's a finisher, and he's a match winner. And we all know that about him. But I've never seen his defensive running the way he played today. He was tackling everything. He was actually a machine out there. He was a genuine machine out there. I've never seen the man with so much hunt and anger and determination in his eyes defensively, to match all the fancy stuff that he does offensively. It was so impressive. To see Caleb Daniel, I thought he was excellent as well. I actually thought all of the new recruits were fantastic today. I thought that Caleb Daniel's ball use in the middle of the ground was really, really good. And he was hitting up targets that we so desperately needed him to hit. And to see Parker and Constanti kick their first goals for North Melbourne as well, it just, the way the boys got around them, it was, the energy in that stadium today was electrifying. It's actually all I can say. It was electrifying. Tom Powell, that man is going to carry this midfield so far into the future. It's not funny. Everyone had their moments. McKercher had his moments. He definitely had some really nice flash in the pan moments on the back of a pretty quiet game last week. Harry Sheezel, I thought, fought bravely. He looks like maybe there's something wrong there, and I think it'd be interesting to know how his body's holding up, because he hasn't been as electrifying as we're used to him being. Serviceable, yes. Played well, yes. But not quite damaging we know him to be. And Jai Simpkin, captain, stood up multiple times today when we needed him. It looked like he pushed back to defence in the third and fourth quarter and played the role brilliantly. Robert Hansen Jr. gets me excited every single time he goes near the ball. Cam Zurhaar had the game he deserved to have. He finally got all the chocolates and all the praise and the goals that he was missing last week. And he played really well last week. He just couldn't convert. So for him to kick 4 today, I think he really deserved it. Nick Larkey was excellent. Paul Curtis was excellent. And the one thing that really impressed me about a lot of these guys, Paul Curtis is a really good example of this. The game was dead halfway through the last quarter. Like we knew we had that game wrapped up. And it was so nice to obviously enjoy it and celebrate it, let it all soak in goal after goal. But they didn't stop trying until the final siren, the gut running and the pressure and the tackling and intensity didn't drop the whole game. It was there from the second the ball bounced in the opening quarter until the final siren went in the last. And that is all you can ask for. If you give that 4-quarter effort week in, week out, and you hold firm. Yeah, there were moments where the D's got on top, and they were much quicker than us when they were moving the ball to the other end of the ground. But we were able to steady the ship, and we held our nerve time and time and time again. And Jack Darling, I mean, a moment for Mr. 300. The way this club's embraced him and the way he's embraced us, it was so beautiful to see. It was also really nice for Andrew Gaff, who's one of his best friends, to come down for the game and to carry him off with Parker at the end. I thought that was such a special touch, and I love that the club were able to organise that for him and to make this week so special for him, the way that we would have done for anyone who had played 300 games in our jumper. I think once you step onto that field as a North person, you're a North person forever. And I think that's going to go down in Jack Darling's career. Yes, he played an amazing 298 games for West Coast. I'm not going to deny that. But I think after a season or two at North, he'll be remembered as a North person forever. Tristan Cherry had the better of Max Gawn today. I thought he was excellent too. I mean, I could go on all day. I think every single player had their moment today, and every single player stood up. It was a real team performance, and it felt like it clicked today. And that's why I freaked out, I think, on Thursday, seeing the extended bench, and there were 5 names in there. To only make the 2 changes and to limit the changes as much as possible and allow this group to just gel together made a huge difference. The balance between defensive game and offensive game, it looked like there was a balance there. They looked like they were in sync. We made some silly mistakes. Yep, of course we did, because our skills aren't up to scratch yet. But for the most part, when you work as a team and you work as a unit, incredible things can happen. And I just think we deserved it. The fans, the club, everyone deserved it. There were almost 30,000 fans there today. The D's don't love Marvel. It was our home game. And for the fans to show up the way they showed up was phenomenal. And I hope the fans realise that being there makes such a big difference to all of those boys out on the field week in, week out. And we can be the 19th man if we all come together and get behind them and believe in them the way that they should believe in themselves after that performance. I think that's exactly what the club needed. I think another gallant effort to result in a loss would have been really heartbreaking. We have a white-hot Adelaide Oval next week, and we'll tackle that closer to the game. But I think everyone just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. I'll be watching the replay time and time again, no doubt, over the next week and months to come probably. It's one of the best, most complete performances from North I've seen for so long. I just had to jump on and come and talk to you guys. It's been a pleasure and an honour to share the last 7 months with you guys on the channel, and to have the first win come in round 2 in emphatic fashion. There was no way I could finish off this day without jumping on and saying hello. So I hope you all enjoyed the win. Thank you so much for everyone to come and say hi to me today. I'm just blown away. I'm humbled, completely humbled. Let me know how you're feeling. First thoughts in the comments below. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll gather my thoughts. I'll gather the stats, and I'll be back for a proper review tomorrow. But I just had to give you guys a first thought for now. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and go Roos.